Hey Thomas, how you doing? Can you hear me all right? This is just another test before the live stream tonight. Pop out. There we go. Here. Here. All right, cool. We're fooling around with the titles again. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Oh, we're about to find out here, I guess. Hey Dave, how you doing? Yeah, still not. I don't have a shirt on, but I am dressed. I said I'm just doing a test here. Still trying to fool around with that with the titles on the screen. I don't know why they don't work. Add a poll, add a reaction. Huh. I don't get it. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Keeps doing that. I don't know why. All right. Naked Railroader. Yeah, there you go. I still can't figure out this title thing here. I don't know why it doesn't work. It's so weird. Well, it's not really that important. I just wanted to make sure everything's good. We had some technical difficulties last week. Finally did get on. Did I have a motorcycle one time? Yes, I did. I am a old time bike rider. That was a long time ago. I got off because a lot of my friends were either getting seriously hurt and a few of them actually died on their bikes. And I figured I'd be next, so I just got off them. So that's the way that works. I miss it though. I can still ride probably, even though I'm disabled, but it would not be in my best interest, I don't think. No, we'll just let that go. No, I did not have a Harley. I rode Hondas and I had a Kawasaki. But I really liked the Hondas. They weren't bad. I couldn't afford a Harley at the time. Otherwise, I wanted a Harley low boy or fat boy, I think they're called. Something that was low enough to where I could easily handle it. Because I'm not a tall person. At 5'7", I'm on the shorter range of humans. Amazingly, my dad, who was smaller than me, when he was a young man, he had a Harley, a full dress electric glide. He wound up giving it to my uncle. My uncle restored it, and as far as I know, my uncle's still driving that damn thing. And that was before they had electric start. You had to kickstart that thing. My uncle's like 6'4", and I watched it throw him over the handlebars more than once, trying to kickstart it. Dave said he had two different small Hondas. Well, mine weren't that big either. I had a, the hell did I have? I had a 175. That was an Enduro. And I had a 300 street bike. 350 rather, excuse me. Since so long I don't hardly remember. 350 street bike Honda. That was nice. Thomas says I'm 5'6". Well, I'm 5'6" now. Actually shrunk an inch from the stroke, I think. But you know, the average height of a man supposedly is 5'8", 5'9". So we're kind of below average. But yeah, I miss it though. They say XL 175 and an OB 160. Cool, nice bikes. I almost bought one right before I had the stroke. A lady I was actually dating, she had I think it was a Yamaha. It was an Intruder. I'm not sure who made it. Bike was practically new. She was going to give it to me and let me take over payments on it. Still owed like $1,000 on it. And I was so tempted to get it because I rode it a few times and I'm going, damn, I really miss this. It's a beautiful bike, but I don't know. Just something kept telling me I probably shouldn't fool with those. I had a couple of two-strokes. I had a Yamaha 80 two-stroke, and that was a dirt bike. And what else did I have? I had a bunch of bikes when I was younger. I don't even remember half of what they were. These are all smaller stuff. I didn't have the money to buy anything bigger, and I bought used bikes, so. The 80 I bought was seized up. The oil injector went bad, and it seized it up, so I paid $50 for it, and put a new piston in it, had the cylinder cleaned up, and mixed my oil and gas. I didn't rely on the injector. I never liked those oil injectors because they always failed. I rode that thing for a long time. Like I said, it was strictly off-road, though. Let's see, my grandpa found me 2 antique Santa Fe railroad spikes from Montana. Cool. You're going to need like a whole room just for all your railroad spikes. You got lots of them, don't you? Things I carry around with me. Oh. Yes, I do. Way too many. Yeah, I hear you. Well, hopefully we'll have a decent show tonight. I got a couple of news items I want to talk about, train related. And I think I might decal these mile markers. I printed them all out already. So I just got to cut the decals, which are right here. Well, you can see those. And stick them on here. So I might do some of that too. Well, actually, I just read today that they might have reached an agreement on the railroads, which of course is a good thing because if they were actually going to go on strike, I think the whole country would be screwed. You know, because they transport something like 80% of our food, so that would be a problem. We would have literally no food on the shelves. And of course, even Amtrak was going to strike too, so there would have been no commutes going anywhere. And I think even the commuter trains up in like Chicago and New York were also going to go on strike. So it would have been a big mess. So hopefully they get that straightened out. And the strike wasn't going to start until tomorrow anyway. So, well, like I said, they supposedly reached an agreement, and the strike hopefully will not happen tomorrow. I don't even know really what they want. I should do more research. That's something we could talk about tonight. Strike would cause me. Oh, of course it would. Like I said, 80% of the food is transported by rail. That would be a big problem. You know, and not to mention the fact it would also raise the price even further on food because it would be difficult to get, and of course the retailers would take full advantage of it. It would be a massive. It would probably destroy our economy in short order. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I just don't know what the hell's going on in this country anymore. There's so much stupid stuff is going on. It's crazy. I don't know what's happening. But it ain't good. So, anyway, hopefully we'll avoid that strike because that would be a disaster. We got enough disasters, thank you. And they're already starting to fear point on the hurricanes. There's one about 3,000 miles out in the Atlantic, and they're already predicting it's going to devastate Florida. It's like, it's not even a hurricane yet. It's a tropical storm, and just barely at that. I mean, come on, people. You know? It's not going to hit here anyway. It's probably going to wind up going north up into the Atlantic, and that'll be the end of it. Craziness it all is. Well, I still can't get these titles to go on the screen. I don't know why. I'm doing something wrong here. That's true, Dave. There isn't enough trucks, and not only that, but supposedly if they really start going full scale, they won't be able to run long anyway because there's no diesel oil available. It's pretty much all been bought up, and you know the trucks that was it every 50 or 60,000 miles they got to change their oil. There's no oil, they can't do it. So it would be bad. Hey Jerry, how's it going? No strike. No, that's what I heard. It would have been bad if it happened. Well, they couldn't let it happen because they know what would have came of it. Like I said, I think it would have completely collapsed the economy, literally overnight. No. You know, if Biden would quit screwing around and open things back up again, the oil and all that, we can alleviate a lot of these problems. But he won't do it because he's a jackass. You know. Well, actually, he's being controlled by somebody, but it's just, the whole thing is so ridiculous. He should be tried for treason, I think, personally. Along with every other Democrat in the country. Ugh, craziness. So I don't really know what I'm doing wrong here with this thing. It should be working and it's not. How's it going? Well, it's going. Finally got my hair cut. Look, I'm not a hippie anymore. I had to go down to Naples and make an appointment with my eye doctor. Technically, I'm blind right now. I mean, not like completely blind, but I went back to the eye doctor who did my cataract surgery. He looked in my eyes. He said, well, what's going on? I said, well, everything's blurry and foggy. So he says, well, you got scar tissue built up there. He says, that's normal. We have to laser it out. So I'm going back to Naples on the 30th of this month to get laser surgery on my eyes. And hopefully, according to the doctor, it will restore my vision back to perfect again. I'm hopeful. Oh, thanks, Jerry. Dave says they seem to want to cause problems so they can declare an emergency. Well, they're trying to actually get us in World War III, from what I understand. They want to destroy the United States because we are we're the only block to the New World Order right now. Yeah. Thanks, Jerry. So, if we fall, the world falls. So they're trying desperately to destroy this country. And they have to do it in a way where it's not completely obvious. But it really is. You know. I don't know. It's just, something's going to have to change here real soon. Mostly the Democratic Party, I think. As soon as we get rid of them, I think we'll solve a whole bunch of problems. Because, you know, everything that's being done, if you really think about it, it makes no sense except for the destruction of America. Because, look, the first thing, You can say what you want about Trump. I like Trump personally. Is he, is he an idiot? In a way, he is. Maybe that's not the right term, but he's still looking out for the people. He got us oil independent. We didn't need OPEC anymore. He brought back a lot of businesses from China and elsewhere because he reduced taxes so they can operate in this country. So as soon as they got Trump out and they put this idiot Biden in there, Biden reverses everything. He shuts down the oil. He's raising taxes to force companies to leave the country again. He's obviously in bed with China. So, it's not rocket science to figure out what's going on here. It's not good. And if we're not careful, we may wake up one morning with a sickle and hammer for a flag saluting the Emperor of China. Not good. I mean, I don't think it'll actually get to that point. I think we'll go to war first. But unfortunately, well, in theory, we should be able to kick their asses, but who knows anymore. Hey, Digger, how's it going? This is time for the political talk of the day. Since technically the train live stream doesn't start until tonight at 6 o'clock. So I can talk about anything I want right now. So what's going on, Digger? How's things going over there in the UK? USA plans to invade the UK. That would be different and pointless. Actually, I think you guys are going to invade yourselves with your new king there. I understand nobody likes King Charles, but I predict he won't be in there long anyway. I could be wrong, but that's my prediction. The country is on a go slow. Yes, it is. Well, you guys got problems too, probably worse than ours. Yes, I think the whole world is having problems right now. Maybe time for the big showdown. See who wins, communism or democracy. Once they bury the Queen, things will get back to normal. The politicians don't like King Charles. Oh, that's what I understand. Apparently, King Charles I and II did not have long reigns. I think the second one abdicated his crown so he could marry a non-royal, if I'm correct. And the first one died early. I might not be 100%, but that was my understanding of it. And then you look at King Charles III now, the new king. He's 70-some years old. How long is he going to last? I'm telling you, I think he's going to wind up dying within the next year or two because they don't want him in there. He's going to be replaced somehow. And who's after him? Is it Prince Philip or Prince William? I don't remember. Yeah, he speaks his mind. If they are doing something dumbass, he will say so and say it publicly. Well, that's kind of a good thing, really. All right, Dave, he's 73. I knew he was 70-something. The Prime Minister has to go to see the King every week. Bad luck for the Prime Minister. I don't know much about the politics over there. Only what I read over here, which isn't much. Okay, Prince William. I know it was one of them. I couldn't remember. Like I said, I really don't keep good track of this stuff. But they ultimately, what I understood was before the Queen passed, they were trying to figure out how to get William to become the king and bypass Charles, but I guess they couldn't do it without actually killing Charles. Long live King Charles. That's bad, Jerry. But funny. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's all weird to me. And now, last night, there's also talk that they want to do away with the royals altogether. I guess completely disassociate them from the actual rule in England. I didn't really get the whole story on it, but does anything that they want as law has to go through Parliament first? First the Commons, then the House of Lords. Not everything gets through the Lords. Yeah, I know that much, sort of. Like I said, I know a little bit about it, but not a whole lot. Dave Chucky. Yeah, people probably making fun of him from here on in, too. Then if the Lords agree to it, it goes to the king and gets royal assent and becomes law. Okay. So like I said, I heard they really wanted to do away with the whole royal thing and bypass them altogether. So the Lords are unelected like the royals. Yes, that much I was aware of. Hey, by the way, you're speaking to a Lord, by the way. And I got the document to prove it. I'm a Lord in Scotland. For real. But I don't think it would carry any weight though in England. So yeah, they can't do away with it. It's all ingrained into the establishment. That's kind of what I thought. So maybe it was just ramblings of wishful thinking. Who knows? There's a lot of people that I have no thoughts on it one way or the other, but I understand there's a lot of people that are kind of happy the Queen died. She apparently wasn't. What's the right word for it? Yeah, I bought my square foot, Dave. He knows what I'm talking about. Bought one for my wife too, so she's actually a lady. Charles will modernize things as much as he can, but not much will change. He still has a collection of fancy crowns and a big gold throne. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on. Are you going to go till 6? No, this is just a test. I just wanted to make sure everything was working because we had difficulties last week. Watch you live in 30. Yeah, I know, and that's actually not going to happen. I tried to delete it, and it wouldn't delete for some reason. I'm still learning how to do some stuff on this. I know it's set on my phone because that's the only way I can really kind of keep track of what's going on. Like, knock that off. Yeah, on the phone here. But if I go back, it shows 2 upcomings. Yeah, that's not right. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Maybe it's a time delusion, right? Oh man, that's weird. I mean, eventually I'll get this where I could just do it with my eyes closed, but it's a little different than StreamYard. So, oops. As I said, I'm learning stuff here and still, and I wanted to work on this some more, but I've been busy with the chicken coop. I've got to get it finished. The chickens are kind of ready to get out of the house. We've got them barricaded in the bathroom. And one of the other bathrooms, one we don't use. I mean, they're in a cage, but still. They're getting big to the point where they're outgrowing their cage, so I got to get them out in the big coop. I'm almost done with the coop. I've got a few more things. 2 roof sections I got to put on yet, and a couple of braces on the bottom and then on the front door, and it's ready to go. Do a video on the coop. I could, and I was thinking I might just do it too. That'd be kind of fun to do. Maybe for next week I can post it or just do a general video, not live stream. So we'll see about that. It's actually a pretty nice looking coop. I should have done that to begin with. I bought 2 pre-built they're kit coops, and they weren't cheap. The first one I bought was $450. I went half with my stepdaughter because it was her idea to get the chickens. And it's a stupid little thing. It's tiny as hell. And it's like they had room for like 6 chickens, 6 hens. And we already had like 11 hens. So I'm going, this ain't gonna work. So she bought a big fenced enclosure for like dogs. I think it's 10 by 10, 10 foot by 10 foot, and put the coop in the middle of it so that they had an area to run around in, because we have hawks and stuff here, and chickens wouldn't last very long running, out in the open. So we had to put a top on the cage and all, but then I decided, then she moved out, and I thought, I don't know what she's going to do. My wife thought she might want the cage for something else. That's going to leave us in a bind. So I bought another coop, slightly bigger than the first one. That was almost $500. And it needed a run, so I built a big run that was 7 foot tall by, I think it's 10 foot long, by 6 foot wide. So I built that, and that was like a big plus. And then my wife decided she wanted to get 5 more chicks. So those are the ones that are in the bathroom right now. I go, we can't. And we found out we were going to put them in with the other chickens. And you can't do that, because if the chickens don't grow up together for some reason, they'll kill each other. Because we took the hens out of the old coop, put it in a new coop that's already out there, and they started fighting, so we had to put them back in the old coop. So they said, all right, we can't do that. We can't risk putting the new chickens in either one of the coops, because they'd probably get killed. Silence is golden. Well, fortunately, they're not loud. There's no roosters. I had a rooster, and that rooster was such a pain in the ass, I just wound up killing it, because it was ridiculous. It didn't bother the neighbors. My neighbors didn't care, but I did. So anyway, this time around, because my wife, Deb, says, why don't you just buy another coop? It's easier. I said, nah, they're too small. They've got no runs. We still have to build a run anyway. So why not just build the whole thing? It's nothing to build an actual coop. It's mostly the run that they need, where they can run around inside there. And so the one I built is 7 foot tall, 4 foot wide by 12 foot long, right? Or no, 10 foot long, excuse me. So it's actually pretty big, and it's set up really nice. It's got a big door in the front to walk in, and then there's a side door for cleaning the coop area, and then there's the back hatch door to remove the eggs when they lay. So it's set up pretty good. So, like I said, I got almost 500 tied up in that, in the lumber, because, wood's not cheap now. It's come down a little bit, but not enough. But really, for $500, you're getting something of substance. Before, like I said, I got this little tiny, really cheaply built chicken house coop for the same money. So it just seemed like a better deal to build it myself. Have you seen the picture quality from Jerry's fancy new phone? Wow, he put the timer on comments. Oh, no kidding. That's cool. Jerry can build chicken coops. Jerry can build anything because he's a carpenter. Or a master craftsman, as it were. But it would cost me a fortune to bring him down here, pay him, and still buy the wood. So, I mean, I'm all right. It's not great, It's not built like an actual, mansion, but it's good enough to house the chickens. So it was nice while it lasted. Time to dig her out again. Yeah, he makes some fancy stuff. I know he does. He's a hell of a, he really is a craftsman. I could be if I take the time, but I just don't have the patience to do a lot of stuff now. I mean, something important I would build correctly. But a chicken coop, so my wife said, well, it's going to get wet in there. I said, no, it won't. I said, we'll just caulk in the open areas. There's little gaps here and there, but like you said, I would have bought better lumber. I had to really skimp on the lumber. I guess only Jim can time out mods. No, if you're a moderator, you should be able to time out anybody you want. I'm pretty sure. Hey, well, you gotta click on the three dots. If I click on the three dots, nothing happens. Let's see if I go into the other one here. Yeah, I guess I could time out whoever I want. You put them in timeout. I could report them. I could hide them on the channel, or even remove a moderator. I wouldn't do any of that, but I could. Let's see here. Let me put this back over here. Sure, he can spend a long time on his joinery. Joinery? Because he has nothing else to do at all. I don't know about that. You can't time out another moderator. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. No, I can't time out Digger. I tried. Don't have three dots on the phone. I don't know how the phones work. Well, let me see. I got mine here. I can't see a damn thing. I gotta get my eyes fixed soon. Yeah, actually, on the phone, if you just click on the name on the thing there, it'll bring up another screen, and then you could do your timeouts or whatever. Or, well, I can anyway. I don't know if you guys can, but that's how it works on my phone anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to block the internet. The entire internet, but it didn't work either. Jerry has a fancy new City Slicker phone, and it's gone to his head. Dave says can go to channel, report, or time out. Yeah, well, time out is what you want to do. I mean, if you wanted to time somebody out. And then it gives you a choice. I think it's like a minute, 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes is the longest you can time them out, I think. I'm not sure. Now, Sparky timed me out once on... I don't remember whose live stream it was, but he timed me out for 3 minutes. I was not happy. Or yeah, he could block too, but you don't want to do that because then you'll have to unblock them. I wouldn't time anybody out unless they were really being a problem, but now I'll block because every now and then you'll get somebody on there there's no reason to be there and you have to block them. Everyone's a mod. Yeah, kind of. I made everybody a moderator. Because I never know who's going to show up on a live stream. So, it was just easier to make everybody a moderator. Just, can I block myself? Maybe, Dave. I don't know. I guess you could. I mean, if you really wanted to. It was just easier to make everybody a moderator because remember the first time one of the streams I had no moderators and we had a couple of idiots get on there and were kind of causing some problems and I says, I had to take care of that. You can remove yourself, of course you can. No, can remove. I don't know what that does. One way to find out. Oh, man. You guys are crazy. So, Jerry, you in your truck right now hanging out, or what? Are you at your house? I haven't been on any of your live streams lately because I haven't seen them. Are you still doing, like, daily live streams? He's in your truck, okay. course, like I said, I've been so busy lately, I really haven't had time to do a lot. I keep missing live streams, too. I actually caught Redbird Tony on Tuesday. I missed Tom on Monday completely. I don't know what happened. I was all set to watch his live stream, and somehow or another I got sidetracked. Chucking the truck. That's bad. You did one from the shop yesterday. Okay. I said I missed it. Like I said, I'm not spending as much time on YouTube as I usually do. I'll get back into it soon enough, but his phone is real fancy and a great picture, but we all don't have $1,300 to spend on a phone. I sure as hell don't. Like I said, I got this one here, and this is a nice phone. It's huge. I paid $220 for this, brand new. I got it straight out of China. It's a Doogie, or Doogie, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. But it's actually made by the same company that makes, I think it's the same as the Samsung, I think. Not 100% sure on that. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Don't listen to Digger, Jim. My phone was $349. All right, that's reasonable. It's not an iPhone then, huh? I would never own an iPhone personally. But, what kind of phone is it? Huawei? Yeah, those are good phones. So, yeah, my wife, she got a new phone. A Pixel 6a, okay. Yeah, those are good. I've heard of them, believe it or not. Yeah, $349 a month for 4 months. No, I think he meant $349 period. My wife got a phone from her company. She's with I can't remember what it is. I'm with Simple Mobile, and I always have my own phone anyway. I don't have anything to do with them furnishing a phone, but her other phone went bad. She had a Samsung, and no, maybe she had an LG. I don't remember. I'm not sure, but anyway, it went bad, so they gave her another one. It's worse than the one that went bad. I told her, I said, they're not going to give you a good phone. They're going to overcharge you for it. It's going to be junk. It's probably going to be a remanufactured one, maybe. Samsung S12. Yeah, I guess hers is a Samsung. I don't remember if it's an S12 or not. I could be wrong. I'm not even going to go any further because I'm not sure. But she's had nothing but problems with it. And I told her, I said, look, I said, why don't you do what I did? Order one right out of China. Digger, BGM, sees right through your bullshit. I don't know about that. Maybe. And do it that way. And then you know what you're getting. Like I said, that thing there has got more power in it than my damn laptop does. It really is amazing. It's a 6-core processor. I don't even remember half the specs on it, but I mean, it's an incredibly... And not only that, but it's a walkie-talkie. It actually has an antenna you can stick on it. And it has a 20-mile range, and you don't need service for the walkie-talkie part, but you do need the second one, which you actually do have a second one. And the speakerphone part went bad on it, but it still works. There's no speaker. I mean, if you hold it up to your ear, it works, but... So I could actually use these as walkie-talkies with a 20-mile range. Pretty cool. Let's see. Steven says I'll stick with my overpriced iPhone and keep my privacy. If you say so. I know a lot of people that had iPhones that had nothing but problems with them. And my working theory on the iPhone was that they got so much stuff in there that they didn't leave room for a decent antenna. And I don't know about the brand new ones, but like 3 or 4 models back. And they generally wouldn't work inside any structure. They wouldn't work in the house. They wouldn't work in a store. They certainly wouldn't work in an elevator. Where this thing actually works almost everywhere. So, yeah, I don't trust anything that updates every day. What are they updating? But that's just my opinion. You can't fool Jim, Jerry. He knows that you are the CEO of an international company. Okay. Steve, does Android system not give you privacy? None of them actually do. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of truth to this. Even my phone. I was talking to my wife the other night. It's about 4 or 5 days ago. We're talking about chickens. The next day, I get a bunch of ads on MSN for chickens. You know, and no matter what I'm talking about in the house, if I'm within earshot of this phone, it picks it up, and next thing you know, the advertising is kind of in line with whatever I was talking about. You know, so they do spy on you. And I understand they can be remotely, the cameras can be remotely operated along with the microphone. On anything, whether it be an iPhone or an Android, none of them are actually secure. And if you think they are, well, you're being fooled. So that's the only problem with these things is that, and they say even if you turn them off, they can still be remotely turned on without your knowledge. So it's not like you can pull the battery out of them. It's not like the old flip phones where you can actually pop the battery out. You know, actually, no, you can't take the battery out of this one either. But it is what it is. Yeah, they listen, and as for cameras, Samsung said the only way to be sure is to put a piece of tape over the lens. That's true of any camera, really, that's hooked to the internet or Wi-Fi. Same thing if you have a laptop with a camera in it. Block the camera lens because they could turn it on without your knowledge. And even I have, like I said, I've got this camera right here in front of me, I'm sure, and it's always plugged in. So I'm sure they could probably see me too. I really don't care. You know, they might die from boredom watching me. But it is what it is. Now the microphone, on the other hand, though, well, because that cam's got a microphone in it too, so I guess they could probably hear me as well. It's just the way it is. Actually, that's true, Digger. A lot of the new TVs and some of the older ones had cameras in them. I had a flat picture tube Sony. It was not an LED. It was the old-fashioned picture tube, but it was the flat tube. And it died, and I was curious, so we actually busted the screen in it, and I found the camera down in the bottom corner of the screen that you would have never known was there. So, are we modeling in the new? Hey, Mini Prince, how you doing? No, just topless, no shirt. Like I said, I'm just digging around, and yes, I have pants on. But I just came out here really to fool around and get everything prepped for later. And I decided to do a test. And I said, well, I don't have a shirt. Well, screw it. Who cares? So, let's see. Conspiracy talk with Jim. Yeah, well, you know, that's what it is. I'll tell you, a lot of this stuff is not a conspiracy. It's actually fact. You know, what we once thought was conspiracy or, bullshit really turns out to be. I get my tinfoil hat. I have one of those. Well, it's not tinfoil, but it actually has aluminum in it. And I bought it from the UK. Digger, you're probably aware of it. And it's actually it's part of a clothing line that protects you from EMF radiation. And it actually does work. Is 5G spy equipment? Actually, 5G is worse than spy equipment. 5G disrupts your cells in your body, and they have proven it. I've actually seen physical evidence that if you get close to a 5G transmitter, it actually damages the cell structure in your body. Not to the point where it would kill you, but it could cause problems, especially long term. I will not own a 5G phone. I will not allow 5G in my house. So the 4G, that's fine. When the 4G stops working, I'm done with phones. I go back to a landline in the house. Yeah, the EMF is present. It really is, too. Like I said, I put the hat on. It's just like a wool hat, but it's got some sort of aluminum in it. And you put it on and you can really notice the difference. And I gave it to my, I didn't tell her what it was. She put it on. She says, I feel differently with this on here. I said, yeah, because you're not getting blasted with EMF. I don't know that much about 5G. I didn't know it travels on the same frequency a light digger. It probably does. Guess you'll be done with mobile phone. And yeah, Stephen, I will be. Like I said. Well, no, like I said, there's always the landline, and then of course, if you wanted to do like a Zoom call, you can even see each other, and you do that on a computer. Jerry has 5G. That's why he's crazy. Ah, Digger, you're being really mean to Jerry today. No, but and actually 5G is less of a problem than the new 6G. Which don't they have 6G in the UK already, Digger? I think. I know they have it somewhere in Europe. Because you guys always get this stuff before we do, and they're talking it won't be long before there's 6G here, and 6G can actually be lethal if you got close enough to a transmitter. So, I don't know what the hell they're doing here. It's not good. The thing is, there's already light traveling on that frequency, and it's fine. You also have to give up your internet. Not really, because I'm on a landline for that, basically a cable. I don't do Wi-Fi internet. All this is all hardwired to the router. So it's more reliable that way. So no, I won't have to give up the internet. If they have 5G internet services now for your home to run your computer on. I will not have that. I just, technology is fine to a point, but you have to be really careful. How fast do you need to have something? And that's mostly what the 5G was. Well, we can guarantee you faster transfer of data, like Digger's saying. Lots of people can use the net at the same time in the same spot. Well, that's true. They couldn't kill us with Rona. Now they will with 6G. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. This stuff isn't good. We get to a point where how fast is too fast, How fast does things need to be? The internet's instantaneous now as it is. I click on a link, boom, I'm there. How much quicker can it get? Well, that's not true, Stephen, because it's all on wires right now. If they go wireless, then you're correct. And they may at some point in time. In that case, screw it. I'll do away with all of it. I said, the technology isn't worth dying for. So landlines are being stopped here now for telephones. Okay, well, like I said, because you can get IP phones, which go over the internet, which I had one. My Uma was an IP phone, and the Uma box went bad, so I didn't renew it again. And then there's that other one that Deb's got. I can't remember what it's called now. It's an internet-based phone too. Yeah, that's what they said, Stephen. That remains to be seen. And you're right, Digger. Everybody will be using IP phone because the old cable phones are kind of outdated, and they're really expensive anyway. I say get an IP phone for a few dollars a month, or I could pay $35, $40, $45 for a landline from the phone company. Why would I do that? So. And I'm not anti-tech. I like tech, but I think there has to be some limits to what we're allowed to do with it and how far they can go with it. And when it becomes destructive or potentially destructive, that's where we need to draw the line. 4G for the phones is fine. You can do video calls on a 4G phone with no issue. Uh, 4G is relatively fast. And Jerry's going back to smoke signals. I don't know how to read those. Uh, so why not just stay with what works? You know? And pretty much, I mean, who doesn't have a cell phone nowadays? So everybody had 4G to begin with. And there wasn't an issue. So why are they going to 5 and then 6? And what's next? 7G? You know? I mean, at what point do we say, okay, we've got it figured out, now leave it alone? And that's the problem with the technology we have. We get something that works, and that's not good enough, so we try and do a one-up on it. Most time, the one-up is worse than what we had. You want an example? Windows 10. Windows 7 was fine. But no, we got to go to 10. Because they went to 8 first. 8 was total junk. They went to 10. I've got 10 now because I have to. Because I built a new computer that won't run anything other than 10. At least not easily anyway. And now they got Windows 11. I won't have Windows 11 because 10 is fine. Why do I need 11 if 10 works for me? New smart meters for your electric supply are dodgy. They can communicate with your devices via Bluetooth. So at times when there's not enough energy, they can switch off appliances. Yes, they can. Right now, I don't think they're allowed to unless you give consent. Like I said, I also have a smart thermostat and smart smoke detectors, the Nest system. But I have not given permission to anybody to shut down my air conditioner. And if I had to, I can easily bypass it. So, it is what it is. But once again, these smart meters, and actually, the smart meters are designed to track your usage. Because apparently they can track pretty much what you're using in your house based on its electrical draw. Because every appliance draws X amount of electricity or wattage or whatever. So, let's see, as we move out, dumbass wind power, etc., move on to it, there will be short. Of course there will, because wind doesn't work, and neither does solar. They're good as helpers, but you can't rely on them solely. Steve says, why not 11? Security updates will stop being. I don't do security updates now on 10. I said I have a pirated copy of 10. There is absolutely no spyware in it. It's a very small OS. Everything's been deleted out of it. It works beautifully. I don't need updates. Like I said, what are these updates really doing? Now, my wife has 10 on her computer. It's a regular paid-for version. And every time it updates her computer, she has problems with the computer. So like I said, we don't really know what they're updating. Just because they call it they can call it anything they want. A security update, what does it actually mean? Trust me, this stuff is not that great. Let's see, high consumption items like tumble dryers or washing machines are the target. I'm sure they are. And air conditioning, of course. I mean, why Windows at all? Well, I like Windows. I have used others. I didn't like them as much, so I stuck with the Windows. But Jerry says, yeah, I got a letter from my electric company every month that tells me I use more electricity than my neighbors. Like, who the fuck cares? I pay for it. That's what I say, right? I get notifications like that too, or similar to that. It's based on averages. And most time I'm a little above average. But you got to understand, I'm running my house, the guest house, this shed, all right? All of them are air conditioned. So I've got 1, 2, 3 air conditioners going simultaneously most of the time. TVs everywhere. I've got my computer here. My wife has a computer. I have my main computer in the house, which is pretty much always on. The only thing is, we have a gas stove, so that really doesn't take any electric, except to, start the flames. But basically, it's gas powered. But like I said, my electric bill last month was $361. I average about $320 to, well, somewhere between $270 and $320 a month on electric. But like I said, you got to understand, I'm literally running 3 houses here almost, sort of. A guest house, the main house, and the shed. So, Digger says, exactly, Jerry. It's like it's your damn electricity to use as you like, and they probably lying anyway. And they might be. Well, you know what it is. They're trying to put us down into. They're trying to create a third world country here, and in order to be a true third world country, everything has to be limited. So they don't want you to have luxuries like air conditioning. Or maybe clean clothes, I don't know. They want everybody to be down in the lower end. So Steven says, when I had my 1500 watt ham radio amplifier, I could literally see the disc on my electric meter spin super fast. Oh yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, the new smart meters don't have that disc. Before they changed them over, we all had the little disc too. And when I turned the air on, that thing be spinning around, like warp 1. any high wattage appliance will drain it quickly. But hey, it's like I said, it's your electricity. You're paying for it, so who cares? I sometimes wonder if the electric companies are trying to make excuses for them not upgrading their service. So they're trying to throw it back on us. Well, you guys are using too much electricity and we can't keep up with you. Well, when's the last time you upgraded your equipment? The electric company. And especially now with the advent of electric cars, that's going to pose really big problems. I mean, we'd have a power outage if everybody turned on their air conditioner simultaneously. What do you think's going to happen when everybody starts plugging their cars in overnight? Let's see. The meters with the spinning disc were easy to fiddle. Yes, they were. You could recalibrate them if you knew what you were doing. If they limit the supply, they could charge more for it. That's true. That's true also, Digger. Steven says, yeah, we have the digital meter now, but I was paying big bucks to run that rig when I was active on the air. Oh, I bet. Like you said, it's a lot of wattage there. And Jerry says, years ago, my friend used to steal the electricity by taking his meter out and turning it backwards. Okay. And I know there was a lot of ways of doing it. Some of them used to put magnets, a powerful magnet on the front of the meter. That's what I've heard anyway, and it would actually slow down the disc. And you would cheat the electric company that way because the disc is what actually let them know how much, it was directly responsible for the numbers that would go up. So pretty slick. And then there was another thing you could do if you lived on a farm. You took your metal shed, put it underneath the power line, wrapped it with copper wires, and it would actually absorb electricity from the power lines, and you stole electricity that way. They got a lot of trouble for that. We have to burn stuff to get electricity, so the more electric cars we have, the more shit we have to burn. It's the same here, Digger. That's what I'm saying. It really is a stupid idea. The only thing it's going to do is cost you money, electric car, all the ways around. And what do you think is going to happen when everybody goes to electric? If you think for a minute the electric companies are going to raise their rates, I got news for you. Guaranteed. Because anything you have to have, they're going to bend you over on. And not only that, but I don't know if you guys are aware or not, the license plate, the sticker, the tag for the car that you replace every year could be as much as $150 a year because you're not buying gas, therefore you're not paying the road tax, and they have to get that money somehow. And if everybody goes electric, you know what's going to happen? They'll create a mileage tax. So every mile you drive, you're going to have to pay for so they can do the infrastructure on the roads. And trust me, that'll keep going up too. So this is not a good situation at all. Digger says hydrogen fuel cell cars are the way to go forward. Actually, you're probably right. I think Jerry talked about that too. It's not a new concept. The idea has actually been around for a while. And you can convert a gasoline car to hydrogen without any real issues. But, you know, they're not going to do it because they're looking for ways to bend us over. We pay road taxes separately on top of fuel costs. Oh, do you? Well, I know they were talking about doing that, I think in Oregon or Washington State. I didn't hear any more about it. I don't know if they went through with it or not, but they were going to start doing it last year. And add an actual tax when you went to put gas in your car. You had to have a device in your car that was Wi-Fi that would tell the pump how many miles you drove since the last fill up. And it would charge accordingly, so it was a mileage tax. And I'd say, well, you know what? They stuffed that right up their asses. I wouldn't put it in my car. Screw them. Here it's pay per month by direct debit depending on how big your car is. Well, that sucks. So it's all about money. Everything today is about them making money and taking yours. I know for an absolute fact, because I drove one, you can make an electric car self-charge. It does. It can be done. I knew a guy that did it. I drove the vehicle that he did it to. But they'll never let that happen because they can't make money on it. But that would be the ultimate thing right now. You want a green car? Make a car that charges itself. You don't have to plug it in or put gas in or anything. You drive it, it charges itself. So it never goes dead hardly. Except, I guess the batteries would expire eventually, but still, basically, you'd be driving for free. You think they'll ever let that happen? Not a chance. And what if you don't drive a car, Digger? Well, then you don't get taxed. I guess. I don't know. You can't keep a car on the road or on your driveway if you don't have tax and insurance. You have to declare it as off-road. That makes sense. It's sort of the same here. You're not really allowed to have a vehicle here without a tag and insurance on it. There are you can get a paper stating that you promise not to drive it on the road, and they'll actually give you a tag, and you don't need insurance. I did it. It was a car I was working on. It took over a year to build, and I got that exemption. But boy, I had to fight for it because it's like nobody knew what I was talking about, but I knew for a fact that they had them, and they eventually got one. Because I didn't have a garage, and I had to keep the car in the driveway, and without a valid tag, it would have got towed. It would have got impounded. So, but I couldn't drive the car in because it wasn't running. But it allowed me to work on the car in my driveway, and still have a legal tag on it, but no insurance. Too many rules. That's the problem. Too damn many rules. We are being screwed in big cities here. We have congestion charges on top of everything, which means you pay more to go into the city depending on the size of your car. I heard about that. Not much, but I guess that's bullshit too, you know. Steven's just like red diesel, no tax on it, but it's raw. Yeah, that's true. Don't get caught with it in your road vehicle, though. Boy, you'll be in trouble. Although I know a few guys, though, that do run it. I don't know how you would actually get caught when somebody turns you in, but I mean, they don't have fuel inspectors, do they? For private vehicles. Camera picks up your plate and charges direct to your bank. Nice. See, and they want to do a lot of that shit here, and I'm totally against that. You know what? We're supposed to be a free people. Either we're going to have to redefine the word free, or we're going to have to get away from this bullshit. We get red diesel. The ministry checks the bulk tanks every so often. Yeah, that makes sense. The fuel tanks every so often. Yeah, I figured as much. Like I said, they don't let you get away with nothing. That's crazy. I don't know. Like I said, everything here is based on money. Problem is, I don't have a lot of it. If I was wealthy, I probably wouldn't care. But I'm not wealthy. I live on a fixed income, and they're always looking for ways to get some of it. So they dip fuel tanks on road cars to check for the red dye. Huh. Yeah, not surprised. And it makes you wonder, because, they're spending money to pay people to do this thing. How much are they actually making to justify the paychecks of these people? Wouldn't it be better just to not worry about it and not have these people paying these people to do a service that's bullshit anyway? I mean, really? I don't know. It's craziness. It's all craziness. I think we should just... like I said, I think what's going to happen here in the next couple of years, there's going to be a massive revolt that's going to be worldwide. May even be sooner than that, but it's going to happen. And it's going to go one way or the other. Either we're going to win and get back to the way we're supposed to be, or we're going to lose and we'll be screwed. But it's going to happen one way or the other, because the governments around the world everywhere, especially in the West, are really pushing. And we're going to have to push back at some point. There's no two ways around it. Fortunately, in America, they haven't disarmed us yet. And I don't think they ever will. Too many people with too many guns. But unfortunately, they disarmed the English and they disarmed the Aussies. So it's not good. So he said if they succeed in disarming America, the world is over. It really is. We'll all become enslaved. For those of us who are lucky enough to still be alive. I don't think they will either, Dick. Like I said, they said there's something like 1 billion guns. And maybe up to 1 trillion rounds of ammunition in private hands. And some of the people I know, they got a lot of guns, and a hell of a lot of ammunition. I mean, I know a few people that could literally support a small army for probably a year with what they have. And these people are not going to give up their stuff willingly. They'll fight to the death to retain it. And there's a lot more of them than not. And, last estimate, there was something like 135 million people in America that are armed and ready to go to war if necessary. That's a lot of people. As there would be a bloodbath, the government would lose, and that's why you have guns in the first place, to stop tyranny. Well, you're right. That's what the founders envisioned, and thank God we never let go of it. Although they're trying desperately, these red flag laws, and they're trying to put taxes on guns now, a special tax on the bullets, trying to declare everything a machine gun that isn't. It's ridiculous, And it's stupid stuff. If you have if you have a pistol with an arm brace on it, it's not considered a short-barreled rifle, but they're trying to change the definition of it. And what the hell difference does it make anyway? And yes, the writers of the Constitution did have great foresight. I wish some of them were around today. Of course, if they were, I think things would be vastly different. And the thing is, most people, the majority of people just want to be left alone to raise their families, go to work, have a few toys in their garage or whatever, and go about their lives. They just don't want to deal with all this horse shit. But the government is forcing a lot of people into stuff that we would probably rather not be involved in. You're right, Jerry. So, who knows what'll happen? We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping the midterms will see a bloodbath for the Democrats. Not a literal bloodbath, but I hope we get most of the ones that are running out and replace them with good conservatives. Here in Florida, we got all kinds of stuff going on. One of our representatives, is congressman, I guess he is, Marco Rubio. Yeah, I don't really like the guy because he's kind of a turncoat, but for some reason, at least he's saying the right things right now. And he actually addressed the state assembly and said, look, first off, men cannot get pregnant. And I guess it's really coming back to bite him in the ass a little bit, but he's right. Men cannot get pregnant. You know? And finally, a politician had the balls to stand up and say something. Of course, they're calling him a transphobic and everything else, which is fine. You know, I'm transphobic too, I guess, because I personally think it's all bullshit. But, you know, we're starting to see more politicians get up and say, hey, you know, men cannot be women. Women cannot be men. Men cannot get pregnant, you know. Women cannot impregnate men, men. And, let's see, what else? Oh, abortion is wrong. Because it is wrong. It's murder. You know? It's just, these are things that are just, they're realities. And yet some people just have a real issue with it. I don't know why. We need to go back to where we were about 40, 50 years ago. Morally, anyway. Not technologically, because I like the tech, but morally, we need to get back on track of what's right and what's wrong. You know? And I don't personally have anything against gays. I think they're wrong. I think it's bullshit myself. I think they're just attention grabbers. But if what they do in their bedroom is their business, what anybody does in their bedroom is their business. And when it was kept in their bedrooms, nobody had an issue with it. Then all of a sudden they wanted acceptance. And they went from acceptance to, no, you're going to observe us now. So, and I have an issue with that. I don't like queers. I don't want nothing to do with queers. You know, unfortunately, my youngest son is transgendered. He's 27 years old. He thinks he's a girl. I don't know what the hell his problem is, but, you know, we don't talk that much because I can't accept that. I'm sorry. It's not acceptable to me. And if anybody wants to give me grief over it, that's fine. I don't really care. If something is wrong, you have to call it out. You have to say, this is wrong. Because if you don't, you're basically saying, it's okay, go ahead and do it. We're behind you. Well, I'm not behind them. Digger says, just after the Second World War, everything was going fine. They were good times. Yes, they were. I mean, they had problems too, but not anything like we got today. You know. I mean, you know, and we're all being programmed for this anyway. They're trying to do away with marriage. They're trying to do away with male and female gender. You know, they want everybody to be what they're not. They're indoctrinating our kids, making them stupid. Because stupid people won't revolt, I guess. I guess that's a theory. You know, there's a lot of things going on right now. And it's not good. No. And like, unfortunately, you know, some people get mad at me because I don't hold back either. If I have something on my mind, I'll say it. I don't care who I piss off. If you don't like what I got to say, don't listen. I'm not going to shut my mouth because you're offended. I don't care. You know, I'm offended by a lot of things, but nothing I can do about it. But I call things like I see them, you know. You're either a man or you're a woman. However you were born, that's what you are. And they could change the parts out, but you're still what you were born. They can't change the DNA. Not yet, anyway. Although I understand they're trying. I was watching a video the other day where Tyler said that we're this close to perfecting the artificial womb. And when that happens, they won't allow men and women to procreate anymore because it'll all be done by the machine. And then the state will own the children and raise them as their own. Of course, they'll indoctrinate the hell out of them. That's some scary stuff. Is this what Naked Modelers channel? Hey, John, how you doing? Yeah, we're actually talking politics here today. This isn't the train channel right now. That's not till later tonight. Yeah, I started this out as a test, and somehow or another, I got into a massive rant. So, talking about how bad things have got in the world, and it's just not good. And how we're being lied to. We're being lied to about everything, you know. And that really bothers me. You can do a lot of things to me. Don't lie to me. And if I catch you in a lie, we're done. Plain and simple. You don't get a second chance. Because I take truth very seriously. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Great preaching. I'm not really preaching, I don't think. I'm more ranting than anything else. But am I not right? I mean, seriously. And like I said, people just want to be left alone, do their thing, and live and let live. Like I said, I don't really care what other people do. You know, you want to be with another guy and you're a guy, knock yourself out. But don't do it in front of me because I'm not into it. You know. Same thing. I mean, you know, lesbians are kind of cool in a way, but they're not. You know. Have you ever wondered why lesbians always have to use dildos? Isn't the whole idea is they hate men and the men parts? So why do they emulate being a man? Same here, Rick. Like I said, I don't like people who lie either. Tell me the truth. Even if I don't like the truth, oh well, but I can accept it, you know. Don't lie to me. Just come out and say what it is, and I'll get over it, you know. I'll deal with it. But if you lie to me, I'm going to catch you in it, and then we're going to have a problem. And I think most people are that way. Nobody likes being lied to. And the worst part is, some people are such bad liars. You know. Digger says lesbians in the movies are quite... Yeah, that's true. I have met a lot of lesbians in my life. And, all right, Stephen, have a good one. And, you know the funny thing about lesbians is, and I'm trying not to be a racist here, but there's always the black woman and the white woman lesbians. Why is that? And if it's two white women, one's like a big, kind of ugly, fat farm girl, and then a really pretty girl. I don't get it. So what'd you get at the Hobby Lobby, John? All right, Stephen, we'll see you tonight. Hobby Lobby. Yeah, we don't have a Hobby Lobby here, which sucks. If I want to go to Hobby Lobby, they go to the one in Naples, which is 113 miles away. Or the one up, I think, is Orlando's the closest one, which is roughly another 100 miles away. I'm right in the middle of nowhere with no Hobby Lobby. But fortunately, I can order stuff online, so I can get it that way. Got some sand to make dirt roads. There you go. I bought a bunch of that stuff myself. I got sand and I got the black gravel. Looks like coal. I got bags and bags of that stuff. We don't have a Hobby Lobby or a Harbor Freight. I know you guys are getting screwed, Digger. Matter of fact, you know, it was my birthday a couple of days ago, and I got a Harbor Freight Harbor Freight cash for my birthday. They gave me $20 to spend as I see fit at Harbor Freight, and we have one right down the road. John says he's got 3 Hobby Lobbies in Providence area. It must be nice. Jerry said they don't have dirt in Rhode Island. They have to bring it in. Thanks, Jerry. I'm a big 63, by the way. So, they have a beach in Rhode Island. Yes, they do. Maybe they don't have sand there. I don't know. You know, in the old days, when you went to the beach, they had that real fine beach sand. It's hard to find down here in Florida. The sand in Florida is not the same sand that we had up north. So, it's kind of weird. Went to Lowe's yesterday, bought some paver sand for my ballast. There you go. Paver sand is good. You know, I didn't think about using that for ballast. That's a good idea. And thanks for the birthday wish. Same thing that you, Digger. Same thing. John says we use natural dirt for dirt, Hobby Lobby sand for the roads. There you go. Well, that's what I did here, too. I got the Hobby Lobby sand. You can't really see it. Yeah, I don't know if you can really see it or not there, but this tripod's not very good here. It's really sloppy. But anyway, I've got it here, and I use it. And I've got a bucket of dirt, actually. It's a real fine dirt. It's really good stuff that I'm going to use in some areas. I haven't used it yet. Same thing, I wound up grounding up the leaves for mulch. And it worked out real good, too. I bought one of those little, well, actually, my wife bought it for me. It's a little, like, 1-cup coffee bean grinder. It's like a little personal blender, actually. And I use that to grind up the leaves with and makes real fine mulch for it. And it's really cool. It works good. I got that idea from somebody on the web. I don't remember who. So, yeah, but I really do wish we had a Hobby Lobby. We don't really have much around here. This is more of a retirement town, but like, I don't know. Well, it's not really, it's sort of retirement. Jerry, you still giving up N scale? Jerry, you giving up your N scale? I didn't know that. You're going to go to HO? It's easier. Hey, the HO is easier to handle, especially if you have eye issues or really fat fingers. I tried N scale. It didn't work for me. I had such a tough time with it. And that was actually back in 2007 when I was doing the N scale. And I wound up selling everything and going back to HO. Jerry said, don't know. Okay, well, I guess you're still thinking about it. It all depends. You know, there's 2 factors, really. And, of course, there's physical ability to handle it and the space you have. If you have a small space, N scale's definitely the way to go. You know. But, and the prices are about the same between them. A good N scale train car is about the same as an HO train car. You know. I think the locals are on about the same money too. So it's all what you can handle. I would have liked to have stayed with the N scale, but my eyes and my fingers just don't allow it. Because in this area, I could have had a massive N scale setup. And Jerry says, I just want something at home now. There you go. Like I said, it all depends upon how much room you got. You know, if you're going to do like a 4x8 table, N scale is definitely, you want a nice layout. You could build a hell of a layout on a 4x8 sheet of plywood in an N scale. Not so much in HO. Let's see. Rick says, I don't know if it is. I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday as well. They had about 30 boxes of resin for water effect. Almost thinking it was on sale. Those in the Hobby Lobby here next door to each other. Wow. I got a few boxes of the artificial, well, it's not really artificial water. It's the the clear resin, I guess you call it. And because I still got to do my lakes, and I haven't gotten anything done here. You know, at some point, I think probably gonna be close to the end of the year, but right around Christmas time, I'm gonna dive back into this and really start getting caught up with stuff because I'm so far behind. Let's see. Take your time, Jerry. If you switch, might be a good time before you get too invested in it. Jerry says, I'm already invested in it. Digger says he's already convinced to go to HO now. Well, like I said, I like N scale. I think it's a great way to go if you can handle it. You know, I mean, look at Redbird Tony, for example. Now, his eyes are obviously, I mean, he looks like he's half blind with his, thick glasses, but he's handling it all right. I can't do it. Like I said, I got too big of a hand, and this hand doesn't work as well as it used to because of the stroke. And my eyes are shot. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's tough. So you can't work on something if you can't see it. And these guys with the Z scale, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Let's see, come to the dark side, O scale. Rick, I really like O scale. And if I had, but I would need a shed 3 times the size of this one for O scale. And I would also need about $1 million. O gauge is beautiful. I mean, I really like it. Easy to work with and all. But, I mean, a DCC loco can cost almost $1,000 new if you want one with sound, a DCC. That's for one locomotive. And the tracking is really expensive. So, I mean, I can't afford it. Otherwise, I would have went with that. But, like I said, I don't have the room for it either. I wouldn't have much of a layout here in O scale. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad, but it wouldn't be the same as the HO. John says, I thought N was a dark side. Well, it could be. Rick says, yeah, it's expensive. That's an understatement. Rick says, my one diesel costs $600. Is that with sound or without? If you got that with sound, you got a deal. O scale is good if you have the room and the money. Absolutely, Digger. So I said, I have neither. But if I did, if I inherited $1 million or something, or won the lottery, I don't know. I'd be tempted to jump over to O scale. Because I am O scale in the poorhouse. Well, if you got O scale, you'll definitely be in the poorhouse. But the O scale is nice. I mean, there's really a lot more you could do with it, and especially if you're 3D printing, it's a lot easier to 3D print stuff in O scale. I think anyway. Steam is expensive. Oh yeah, Steam is crazy. I saw what the hell was it? I guess it was a big boy. I don't remember who made it. It wasn't Lionel. It was somebody else, but they wanted $1,800 for it. And I'm going, are you kidding me? I said, if you have the money, that's cool, but geez, I don't have that kind of money. My engines are sound. Cool. Yeah, you want to have the sound nowadays. I mean, it'd be foolish not to have it. I think, I think all but I think two locos are sound. And I could convert them and probably will somewhere down the road. First chance I get, John, it's difficult right now as my parents need me. That's cool. And if things get too much worse over in the UK, Digger, you may have to move here permanently. We'll have to see what happens over there, but not looking good. Yeah, I'll tell you what, with all the inflation stuff going right now, this is going to be interesting to see how it affects our hobby. Because right now things are getting so expensive that it's crazy, you know. So MTH, a new big boy is around. That Lionel is more. Oh yeah, absolutely. Digger says if I visit, I want to stay. I know it. Of course you will, because America's the greatest place on the planet. Well, I think it is anyway. Um, no, seriously though, this inflation it's going to become a real problem. I think. Like I said, in our hobby, I mean, I haven't bought anything for the hobby lately, so I don't know what the prices are. But with everything else going up, I'm sure everything is going up with this stuff too. Now, you know, I think two of my locos, their scale trains, I think they were both $264 a sound in DCC. So, I imagine they might be close to 300 now. Who knows? So Digger says inflation is slowing down here now. Oh, you're lucky. I don't know what's going to happen here. It does. I mean, my wife was complaining. She went to the grocery store the other day, and you know, we used to be able to get a loaf of bread for around $3, maybe $3.25. Now it's $4.99. And I said, well, in about another month it might be $8. Who knows? Gas went up real high here and then it dropped down a little bit, but it's been creeping back up again. So I don't know what's going on. I think largely they're manipulating a lot of this stuff for the elections. I'm not sure how that actually works. Rick says my layout is split in half. The train room is about 12 by 26, and the furnace room and washer and dryer is the same room size. Not big layout. Is very simple. I don't know. 12 by 26 is pretty good because this is 12 by 32 here, and it's not overly large, but it's not tiny either. And if you got two of them that size, that's not bad. You can still set up a pretty nice layout, no scale with that. Are you single level or multiple level? And if you're single level, do you plan on going multiple level? Oh, you're right, Digger. They do charge what they think they get away with it because we're stupid enough to pay it. Rich says, I have a block wall running down the middle of the basement. That's not a problem. You just knock a hole in it. Hey, Gerald, how you doing? Yeah, I would never let concrete get in the way of opening up my layout. So you're single level right now, okay. And you did. That's the way to do it, like I said. Knock a tunnel hole there, you know. I was tempted to do that at the old house because I had my spare bedroom was my train room, and that was 11 by 14. And my wife says, why don't we move into the third bedroom and leave the master bedroom open and run your trains in that, just knock a hole in the wall and have them come into here. And I thought, you know, I was seriously kicking it around. And then I wound up selling the house anyway, but it was a feasible idea at the time. Rick says, I have a video showing train. I have to look up your, am I subscribed to your site? I don't know. I'll have to double check on that. I should be, but if I'm not, I will. I'll have to watch some of your videos. Because not many guys are running O-scale. Alright, I'll double check on that when I get off of this, but like I said, if I'm not subscribed, I will be. And I'll start watching your videos. Because, you know, like I said, there's not many O-scale modelers out there. So, it's kind of unique when you do find one. Oh, man. 3:15 already. Time flies when you're having fun. Let's see, what else? I like William Stanier's Switching Vids O-Scale guy. I haven't seen him. I'll have to check him out, too. Yeah, it's been fun. What's for supper? I don't really know. I usually eat around 4 o'clock because I want to eat before live stream and still have time to get back in here and make sure everything's right for when I go on. Could be chicken. Could be a burger. Or what else to go with it? Probably some pasta to go with it. I don't think we really have anything else in the house. I don't know yeah, I think I got some steaks too. I get that Omaha steaks. You mail order it. I do that every month, and I buy a boatload of burgers, chicken breasts. I'll get a few steaks and some sides. And it's a pretty good deal, and it's actually cheaper than the stores, and the food is better. I had hot dogs yesterday for lunch. I love my hot dogs. Yeah, I guess I could theoretically have hot dogs for dinner, but probably not. She'll probably make either chicken or a burger. I would guess. I don't know. That's her domain. I try not to get involved in that. I love my hot dogs. I only buy one brand. What the hell are they now? Anyway, they're real hot dogs. They're real beef. Because the only kind I can eat. I can't eat a regular hot dog. It's not good for me. For my diabetes and stuff. So I buy the Angus hot dogs. And they're good. And they're not bad for you. So I'll have them 2 or 3 times a week. Usually for lunch. John says, I wanted some fast food today, so bad, but I resisted. Smart move, John. That stuff will kill you. I have not eaten at McDonald's, Burger King, probably in 5 years. I still go to Wendy's every now and then because Wendy's has better food. But even that I'm leery of. And it's not cheap either. Matter of fact, when we were down in Naples the other day, last week, beginning of last week, we stopped at Wendy's for lunch. Both me and Deb. I had a cheeseburger, the large one, and Deb had the small cheeseburger. We each had something to drink and some fries. It was $18. I mean, come on, really? Could have ate for 2 days on that if we made our own food. John says, was waiting for wifey shopping at Trader Joe and was salivating looking at Smash Burger. There you go. Yeah, me too, Rick. I'm supposed to be on a salt-free diet because, heart condition, but fortunately my blood pressure is fine now. They fixed me up real good. I've got 5 stents and a pacemaker. And my blood pressure on average is about 117/60. So if you're familiar with normal blood pressures, mine's a little below normal, but I like it. And so far, so good. Because for a while there, I had real big problems with blood pressure. And I've had my share of kidney stones. It's not fun. What you cooking, Jerry? Jerry, what are you cooking? Don't know yet. Okay. No, that is good. Like I said, and I don't take any blood pressure medicine. I was on it for a long time. They took me off of it. I figured I didn't need it anymore. I do take a diuretic because of water retention, which is why they don't want me taking too much salt. And I take another pill called carvedilol, and it's supposed to strengthen your heart, which it has. And I take that twice a day, but it doesn't really regulate blood pressure. So altogether, Knock wood, I'm doing good so far. Jerry, did you ever try Italian food? Of course, he's Italian. He's got to eat Italian food. I love my spaghetti. And a good lasagna. You can't keep me away from a good lasagna. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so every time wife goes shopping, I pick out something. You can't eat that, it's got too much salt in it. Oh, come on. I gotta eat. Ah, you're lying, Jerry. You know you eat Italian food. I'm on blood pressure meds. When I had tooth pulled, my first number was 212 over something. Mine was actually higher than that at times. When I had my stroke, it was 350 over 240. They don't even know why I'm still alive. I don't know why I'm still alive. But it was routine for me to be around 210, 215 over 100, sometimes 110. I had very difficult to control high blood pressure. But it turns out I had a lot of blocked arteries, and they really didn't find out until after I had my second heart attack. So sometimes I wonder if these doctors even really want to fix you. John says, you would like it, Jerry, lots of tomatoes. Of course. Told you he was Italian. I'm Italian too, by the way. I think that's for fuck's sake, I think, is what that FSS means. I got no issue with cussing because I do it all the time. I just don't usually do it on the air. But I'm really bad, especially with F-bombs, when I'm out here in public. Yeah, see, I was right. So, no, I was in. I'll tell you, I don't know why I'm still alive. I really don't. It's the grace of God, I guess, because I have been through so much. Like I said, I had a stroke back in 2007. I was 47 years old. I partially lost my right side. I recovered a little bit, but I still don't walk right. I've had 2 heart attacks. What else? I had to have an ablation done on my heart for irregular heartbeat. I had my gallbladder removed. That sucked. Doctor said, oh, you won't notice. You won't even notice it's gone. Yeah, bullshit. I noticed it, believe me. Yeah, actually I did, John. It's very lucky, and like I said, the grace of God, it's got to be. John says, so guys, the pizza is amazing up here. Totally different from the South. Yes, it is. Especially New York. New York pizza is like the best pizza ever. And New Jersey's good too. Down here it's a little bit different. They say it's because of the water. I don't know. Maybe it is. Digger, I had some pepperoni. It blew my mind. Yeah, I bet it did. Doctor thinks I had a heart attack and I'm 55. Yeah, it's not unusual. So I had mine, let's see, I was 47 when I had the stroke. I think it was 51 when I had the first heart attack. They did 1 stent. The second heart attack was bad. That was the Widowmaker. That was 100% clogged. And so they wound up, like I said, I wound up getting 5 stents after that. And the pacemaker. They were actually they were talking heart transplant, and I said, no, I'd rather die. Because my heart function was down to like 18%. It was bad. My kidneys were failing. I was in rough shape. But, like I said, through the grace of God, here I am. And my heart function is up to like 70% now. And my kidneys seem to have healed themselves. So, So far, so good. Closer to get to New York City, the better pizza gets. That's true, Gerald. There's nothing like a New York pizza. I was 46 when I had a heart attack. Yeah, really, Digger? That's a year before I had my stroke. Man, that's not good. Hey, it's just, I think it's just the way life is nowadays. Our parents had it tough, but I think we have it in some ways a little tougher. you know. I think life is more stressful nowadays than it was back in the day. John says, great Italian food in Federal Hill neighborhood in Providence. Only had time to go to a couple of places so far, but man, it's incredible. Oh yeah, the food up there really is better. Especially the Italian food. Oh man. So, let's see what's next. That's something, I said the pizzas aren't bad down here, but they're not near as good as the north. In some places, actually, a store-bought pizza is better than the actual pizza joints. I went to this one place. It was just a private pizza place, not like Domino's or anything. And we got a pizza there. That was one of the worst pizzas I ever ate in my life. And it was $20 for a cheese pizza. I'm thinking we're never going back there, and I haven't gone back there since. Says the work life that the employer puts on the employees is a bunch of stress. That's true. Like I said, it's not like it was 50 years ago. Things have changed so much. And now they want you to do so much more for so little at work. In some cases, not all, but in some cases. And there really is. It's just there's a lot of stress. And life itself is stressful. I mean, rent, mortgage, bills, cars. It's all so almost out of reach. And you're trying to figure out how you're going to get all these things because you need them. And it really stresses you out, I can understand that. And I think we're paying for it with our health. And plus the food is shit. I mean, most of the food anyway. I mean, they say they said back in the 1950s, if you had a bowl of peas, you got like everything you needed out of it nutrition-wise. Today it would take 13 bowls of that same bowl of peas to get the same nutritional value out of it. So smoke more weed. I don't like getting high, man. I smoked weed when I was 17 for a short time, and I don't like it, I don't get drunk either. I drink, or I used to drink, but I really never got drunk because I don't like losing control. Got some Jerry Pass it, my dude. There you go. I got no problem with it. I mean, I think they should legalize it personally. I mean, it's natural. You want to do it, go ahead. But it's not for me. I got other ways to relax. Not drug-wise either, or drinking. You can figure it out from there. Let me grab myself a soda here. Hang on. No porn, no. But close. I really learned to not let things get to me. My mother-in-law was talking the other day. She said she's all stressed out because every time she buys something from the store, it turns out it's junk. Mostly Walmart. And I said, stop buying at Walmart. Yeah. That's pretty interesting, Rick. In Michigan, where I live, I have about 10 weed stores within a mile of me. There's a few of them here in Sebring, actually, in Florida, where I'm at. I think there's 4 of them here. I know I've seen 3, but Deb said there was a 4th one. But because I'm a gun owner, guns and weed don't mix well legally. So I choose guns over weed. Went to Walmart today to buy a selfie stick. I'll never go in that. I know. That's what I'm saying, Jerry. It's the truth. My mother-in-law went there the other day. Well, she ordered online from Walmart a convection oven. It's like a microwave, but it's convection too. She gets it. She's all excited. She's been waiting a week for it. Opens up the box. Both sides of it are smashed in. So she calls up Walmart. She says, you sent me a damaged good here. Well, all right. Just give it back. Send it back. We'll send you a new one. So they sent her a new one. Fortunately, the new one was fine. But she went up. They sent her a postage paid label for it to send it back. So it was delivered by FedEx. So FedEx come to pick it up. Hey, look, I said, we can't take this. It's got the wrong number on it. Well, that's the one Walmart gave you. It doesn't matter. We can't pick it up. It doesn't have the right tracking number. So she calls up Walmart. She's not happy by now, right? Yeah. They tell her, well, just bring it into the store. So she doesn't drive anymore because she sold her car. So I told Deb to take the pickup, throw it in the back of the pickup, and take her down to the store so she could return it. So she did. So while she was there, she bought a new microwave oven, just a regular microwave. Gets it home, pulls it out of the box. The top corners, both sides are all smashed in. And I said, why do you keep buying stuff from them? Everything you buy from them is damaged, So I think she's going to stop dealing with it. I told her, I says, just buy from Amazon, At least if you have to send it back, they send you a proper label, and they'll come and get it and everything, and it doesn't cost you a dime. So I think she's going to start doing that. Yeah, Walmart, you're right. They're a bunch of effing idiots. That's ridiculous. Let's see, it messes up your aim. Yeah, Gerald, it does. Probably. That, and sometimes you want to be quick too. Pot slows you down, so you're like, hold on a minute, gotta get my gun out. Let me rack one here. By the time you got everything out, you'd be dead 5 times over. So yeah, it's not good to be high with a gun. The perfect neighborhood: weed store, train store, beer store, Cajun restaurant. There you go. That could be. Rick says, amen, absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, we have pot stores here, but we don't have a Hobby Lobby. What the hell is wrong with that? I guess pot is more lucrative than hobbies are. Supposedly. You guys have given me an idea. Maybe I should do what Jerry does and have like a different channel just for this stuff here. I don't know what we'd call it, but a non-train channel. Where we could talk about trains, but not exclusively. Aside from Shortline Thursday, that would still be the same, but like during the day. Because, Jerry gets on all the time and just talks about stuff, which is fun. I like doing that. Less returns, absolutely. Like I said, there's a few things I've returned to Amazon, not because they were damaged, because I just didn't like the way they worked, and it was effortless. Rich says, then one store along I-75, they park in the grass so many cars. There you go. Yeah, I don't really have an interest. The only thing is, I mean, realistically, I like to put my hands on something before I buy it, but today that's difficult. So I've gotten used to the mail order, and of course, like I said, I don't have to get in the car, run down the store, fight the crowds, and all the other crap. JT Ranch. Yeah, you got that right. Hey, that's not for a name. Yeah, that might be. Oh my, there's something wrong with your camera. You can see through your clothes. Hey, Derek, how you doing? I'm topless today. This was just supposed to be a test, and it turned into an hour-long rant. But, oh well. Talking about pot stores. That's funny. Yeah, like I said, I don't mind doing a mail order. I like to physically touch things before I buy them, but, you know. But once again, too, like the camera deal with the onboard camera. How many cameras did I buy from Amazon before I found one I actually liked? I like 8 of them, you know. And these guys are going to get mad at me for keep returning stuff, but that's just the way it goes because you don't know how something's going to work until it's in your hand and you can actually test it. You know. Now, there's some things I will never buy online, and that's clothing or shoes. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to fit you right. And that's the real pain in the butt to return. That's what I told her. Stress is gone talking with new friends. Oh, absolutely, Rick. As I said, I enjoy talking, you know. Some people call me a chatterbox. That's fine. If you can deal with my opinionated assertions sometimes, you'll be okay. Because at times I am very opinionated, but that's just me. That old saying? Places to go, places to go. Shit, I forgot how to go. Oh, things to do, places to go, people to piss off. That's how it is. That was my life story for a long time. As a matter of fact, I read a thing on Facebook the other day. You ever notice how it's very difficult to please everybody, but it's how easy it is to piss everybody off? And there's a lot of truth to that. I know, Joe, everybody has an opinion, and they all, or no, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one and they all stink. That's it. I almost forgot about that one. No, that's true. Everybody does have an opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, if you don't agree with it, fine. Move on. You know? Problem today is some people out there like take it personally if you don't agree with them or something, you know, they don't agree with something you say. Rick says, if I don't piss off a high-low driver at work, I'm not happy. There you go. Derek says, on a live stream last night, they were talking about how to get more subs, and the main thing was to be topless, and this is what I see. I think they were referring to the female species, though. Personally, you don't really want to see me topless. If anything, I'd probably lose subs, right? I could probably find a few women that would go topless, you know, then. That would probably increase my sub rate. Like, by hundreds of thousands. You know, when I was in business, I had my shop. I seriously thought about, I couldn't find one. I wanted to hire a woman mechanic. A good-looking woman mechanic. Not like a dyke one, but... and I figured I could have tripled my sales with that because everybody likes to look at a woman working on their car. Especially if she knows what she's actually doing. John says, I triple dog dared Heath to do a stream topless. That would be scary. Do you have the bigger... Unfortunately, I do. I'm a little overweight. That's just the way it is. Especially if they're holding your logo. Yeah, right? There you go. Must have been on Derailed Daryl's stream. Oh, man. I mean, look, sex sells, man. It always has, you know. And I figured it would attract... I mean, I had a good clientele. a large clientele actually, but I could have attracted probably 10 times as many female clients if I had a woman mechanic. Because women trust women. Which is their first mistake, by the way. But but it would have been good for business. But I couldn't find one. I know they're out there, but they're hard to find. And the thing is, I think it's still Naples. I'm pretty sure if they're still there. There was an outfit that came out. They were female mechanics, and I don't remember what the name was, for girls only or something like that. And it was an all-woman mechanic shop. And it was, women mechanics for women drivers. It was an interesting take, and I guess they did a really good business. If they were any good, I suppose they were. Someone told Heath he was already topless with no hair. Yeah, I guess he kind of technically is, isn't he? Oh well. That's bad, but funny. I generally have, I'm fully clothed all the time. I when I was thinner, before I had the stroke and I was actually in really top physical condition. Well, not top, but really good physical condition. My arms were twice the size they are now. And it was not fat, believe me. And I was relatively skinny. I didn't have a big gut like I do now, but I would walk around topless all the time without a shirt. But since I gotten fat, it's like, yeah, maybe not. I don't want to scare the neighbors, So it is what it is. It's the problem with getting old. You just lose your shape, man. Thank God I still have my hair. I would look probably really stupid with no hair. I don't know. I can't imagine it. I know a lot of guys that are bald. I had a friend, he went bald. He was in his 30s. It was genetic because his dad went bald in his 30s. I'm thinking, man, that sucks. I mean, completely bald. He didn't have a stitch of hair on him, on his head. Round is a shape. Yes, it is. Not a good shape, but it is one. So your shape just changes from B to circle. Yeah, kind of. It is what it is. I tell everybody I have my butt on backwards. I'm so fat. Hey, like I said, what are you going to do? I mean, it's normal because most people, when they get up in their 50s and 60s and older, you tend to get fat. I don't know why. I guess your metabolism slows down or something. And it's funny because my dad, he was incredibly fit. I mean, he had nice arms. He had six-pack abs. And he lived to be 91. And really, he stayed in good shape up until his late 70s. But he never gained weight. I don't know how he did it. Obviously, I did not get his genes for some reason. And I was always, I was like around 140 most of my adult life. And for my height, 5'7", that was a good build. And like I said, I had tremendous forearm, whatever you call these here, forgot the name, right? Tremendous arms, biceps, and I was in pretty good shape. I never had six-pack abs, but I was never fat, So I just didn't have that definition in my gut. So you didn't get his genes because they wouldn't fit. Yeah, that's true. Everybody's a fucking comedian. John's got to head out. Thanks for the stream, Jim. Take care. All right. Hope to see you tonight, John, if you're available. Make sure you tune in if you can. Otherwise, have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Rick says, I was 140 till I got married, now 220 at 5'4". Holy shit. You're bigger than me. I'm running 224 at 5'6". And it's It's mostly in my gut. You know. Still got a small butt. I mean, my butt really hasn't gotten any bigger, but not that it matters. But I gained most of it in my belly. I mean, it sucks. Yeah, I just turned 63, so I figured, I'm not doing too bad. But I would really like to lose some of the second. I'd like to lose at least 50 pounds. If I could do that, I'd probably look pretty good. I'd probably feel a lot. I mean, I don't feel bad, but I think I'd feel a lot better if I didn't have this extra weight that I'm carrying around. So, yeah, but it is what it is. And I know very few. I know very few skinny people. I really do. They're just, yeah, and a lot of it's the food. Like I said, the food is garbage, so we eat more of it because we're trying to get the nutritional quality out of it. There is no nutritional quality in it, so you keep eating and eating and eating, and you wind up storing all of it. You know. When I was a kid, back in the '60s, we had like one fat kid in the neighborhood. Seriously, everybody was skinny. Probably lost 5 pounds of hair with that. Yeah, that's probably true, Derek. You should have seen it. I go down to Naples to get my hair cut because nobody up here can do it. So my barber, Donna, is a woman, nice lady. And she goes, "Can I take a before and after picture of this?" I said, "Sure, go ahead." So after she cut my hair, she actually kept it in the pile on the floor to see how much was there. And the pile was literally about this wide and about that tall of hair that she cut off me. I mean, a lot. I don't think it was 5 pounds, but probably a good half-pound anyway. Who knows? There was a lot of hair there. Jesus Christ, that came off of me. And I didn't realize just how long my hair got in the back. I mean, it was almost down to my shoulders. But it'd been like, I think 5 or 6 months since I got my hair cut. So I try to get down there more often, but the price of gas kind of, precludes me just jumping in the car and going. So I'll be going back to see her in November because I have a doctor's appointment for my cardiologist in November. So I usually try and combine that stuff. Did she shave your back? No, she did not. My wife's been wanting to do that. I said, "Well, go ahead." I said, "I don't care." I don't know how bad it is because I don't really look at myself like that. I mean, I got a lot of chest hair, but she would probably charge me extra actually if she did, the barber. I don't know. Yeah, she'll usually trim out my beard a little bit, shave under my neck, and she does a really nice job. And for $25, you can't go wrong. And I always give her a big tip. Yes, she does do the nose hair too, and the ear hair. She'll trim your ears too. I mean, she's really thorough. It's amazing. Usually when I go get a haircut, it takes about 45 minutes to get everything done. So, but I usually give her at least a $10 to $15 tip. So, I've learned a long time ago, if you tip somebody well, they will remember you and they will always take good care of you. And it's always worked out well for me. So, I say, $25 haircut. I usually hand her $40, keep the change. There you go. She's happy, I'm happy, and everybody, And like I said, usually you have to make an appointment to see her, and I usually do, but it was a hectic day because Deb had a doctor's appointment in the morning. This is all in Naples now, 113 miles away. She had a doctor's appointment in the morning. I had a doctor's appointment in the afternoon. She wanted to go to Sam's Club because they don't have one of them here either. And to Whole Foods. They don't have that here either. So we tried to get all this stuff done, and I said, I don't know when to tell her to make an appointment for me. So when I got into Naples, I called, I said, "Don," I said, "Look," I said, "I don't know what the schedule is. Is there any way you can see me later this afternoon?" She says, "How's 3 o'clock sound?" I said, "3 o'clock's great." So, but she gets me in no matter what because, like I said, she knows that I can't get down there all the time. So how does the switch unit work for the camera? It works great. See, check it out. We got the overhead. Hey. We got the tunnel cam. We got the east cam. We got the doodle cam. And we have the me in the back cam. So, and of course we got the train cam with music. So yeah, it's working out really good. And I have a couple extra things I programmed in that I'll be utilizing tonight on a live stream. So, yeah, it was well worth the money I paid for it, I think, anyway. All right, Jerry, we'll see you later. Got to go to the grocery store and get some food. See, we made you hungry, didn't you? Thanks for stopping by, Jerry. We'll see you tonight. Don't buy too much food, but buy good food. Yeah, it's almost time for me to drop off, too. About another 10 minutes, I'm going to have to drop off for dinner. Then I'll be back on at 6, but we got 10 minutes to kill. Doodle cam. I think that one has the best picture. Which camera is that? The doodle cam is the one right here. Right there. To my right. And it's actually over Doodle Lake. Now, Doodle Lake is the nude lake. Okay? And I have nudes there. You know what I'll do? I'll probably reposition it for tonight's live stream. I'll show it off, and you can see the nudes, the nude lake. So the nude lake is actually called Doodle Lake. That's the Doodle Lake district, and that's also an $8 cheapo camera too. But it's set up to where it gives a much better picture of everything. But that was what it was supposed to do. All right, Digger, have a good one, man. Hopefully you'll pop in tonight, 6 o'clock if you can. Stupid phone. Another scam call. I don't take those. Yeah, it's not so much that it takes a better picture, it's just the way it's set up. I've got it screwed to the wall. And it, you can see it, because it's facing the light and all. Where the other two cameras down there, the tunnel cam and the east cam, they're down low on the layout and there's not much lighting there. So you're not going to get the same effects. There's the tunnel cam because they're kind of close up. So yeah, the doodle cam does really have the best picture. But if you look straight down, which you can't, but because the camera would have to point down, straight down from the doodle cam is where Doodle Lake is. So it's pretty cool. I'd like to put a few more cameras up in here too, to be honest with you. And I don't know though, I'm running out of ports for the... I'll have to get another hub probably. Because apparently the computer's handling 6 cameras with no problem. I was kind of surprised because it usually doesn't. But, I mean, I would probably try and get 2 more on here, maybe if I can. I want to get that set up that Tom's Trains and things have, the choo-choo cam. I don't know if you guys seen his live stream or not, but there's a company called Choo-Choo Cams. I think it's called Choo-Choo Cams. And they have a Wi-Fi camera that mounts on the train. They even have one that goes inside the cab of your loco if you want. Have to be a dummy loco. It's wireless, and they also have a gadget to power it off the DCC voltage on the track. So you don't have to worry about recharging it. And I could probably set that up to run through my computer. I'm going to get it, it will probably be a few months before I can afford to get it, because it's like $100 just for the camera. It's $95 for the camera, and another $18 for the gadget that converts the track power for the camera, so you don't have to charge it. It's a neat, and it's a beautiful picture. I think it's 1280, yeah, 1280 pixel or whatever they're, yeah, I can't think of the name. Anyway, it's a good picture, good camera. So I think I'm going to get one, and I would add that to my train cam. You know, this one here. But I'd probably put it in the middle, maybe, I don't know. But I think it'd be kind of cool to do. And I could run that during the stream as well. And I know I could pull that off because, like I said, it's a fairly powerful computer because I built it myself and I tend to overkill these things. So, but yeah, for an $8 camera, you can't go wrong. Because the one that I'm looking at right now, that's the $80 camera, 80 or 90. I don't remember what I paid for it. The Logitech. It's a good cam, but it's pretty pricey. Get Tom to talk you up the choo-choo cam. Well, they gave him one. You know, the company did. Because I guess he's sponsoring it. They're sponsoring him. But, you know, Tom's got he's got, you know, a better live stream than I do. A bigger one anyway. So I'm not likely to get any stuff like that. I'm going to have to break down and buy it. But they gave him one so he could sponsor him, and, you know, so he demonstrates it. And that's really cool. But they didn't give him the device to use the track power, though. That he's going to have to buy. But he needs to, because it's a pain in the ass to charge it. And only hold the charge, I think, for an hour. You know, and if you have a 2-hour live stream, that's going to be a problem. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. So, and like I have Bluetooth capability on my computer. So, if I got a Bluetooth camera, I should be able to feed it right through the computer onto the live stream, I think. I haven't worked on it yet, but at some point I'll look into it. So. I don't know. The doodle cam. Yeah, I didn't know what to call these cams, but I needed to label them so I know which one was which. I could remember names easier than I can remember numbers. I could have had cam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it wouldn't have had the same effect. So, and it's actually on my Stream Deck, the name of the camera, because it prints all that stuff right on. It's really cool. Maybe you can see this. Maybe. Yeah, you should be able to see that. That's really neat. Like I said, there's 15 buttons. I'm only using 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I'm only using 11 buttons. But you could program them to do whatever you want. It's a pretty slick system. I don't know why I didn't buy this a long time ago. You know, I really didn't realize just how easy it makes things to work and how much fun it would be. No, it is what it is. I got 2 minutes left. What can we talk about in 2 minutes? I tell you, Tom's always busy. You know, he goes to all the train shows and stuff. I can't afford to go to the train shows. He just went up to the one in Atlanta, Georgia. But of course, he's monetized too, and I think he gets enough money to where he doesn't actually have to lay money out of his pocket to do these things. Where me, I have to pay out of pocket, and I just don't have the money. Remind everyone you're on again. I will be on at 6 o'clock p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. Usually get on a few minutes early, but the real show starts at 6, so hopefully y'all will be there. Like I said, I do have some train news to talk about, and anything else we can come up with. And Like I said, I might start the decal just for demonstration purposes, to decal my mile marker signs. So I've got everything ready to go for it. I just got to do it. Will you be wearing a shirt? Yes, I will. Rick, you haven't been to a trade show in years? Bummer. Of course, I went to my first one just a few months ago. And I had a lot of fun, but I spent a lot of money. Trains, yes, there will be trains. Like I said, this what we're doing here is not train related, so that's okay. If it's okay, then I'll be there. Well, because I got a shirt. Yeah, kind of feel a little naked here without a shirt, but yeah, it is what it is. 6 o'clock. I got a promo running on YouTube, so you should see it. This is there on the days I have to work. Yeah, I know it's a bummer, but you can always watch the replay. Pants, yes, I always have pants. I mean, I could probably get away with it, but I'm not going to. I don't even want to know if you have pants on. Oh, I do, so it's not a big deal. Just no shirt. Like I said, I ran over here to get things set up for tonight. I said, I better do a test. And I didn't feel like running back to the house to get a shirt. I said, screw it, it's just a test. I didn't think anybody was even going to come on here. So, it is what it is. You'll probably never see it again, so, All right, guys, it's 4 o'clock. I gotta go eat dinner. I'll see you tonight, hopefully at 6 o'clock. And we'll actually talk about trains, for the most part. Thank God. And they're not shorts either, They're, what, Daisy Dukes? I don't wear Daisy Dukes, sorry. I'll leave that to Tom. Alright, guys, we'll see you later. Let me see what I'm doing here. I have no idea. Shut her down. Stop streaming. Alright, guys, see you tonight.